was in this 4-year period when Trump did things like take out Soleimani, kill al-Baghdadi, completely destroy ISIS, and be smart with North Korea. And he said, at Russia during this 4-year period, Russia didn't move. We had a good relationship, but he understood. We both understood. He didn't move. There was nothing like having 250,000 soldiers on the border of a country. On my watch, America was respected again, maybe respected like never before. And I was proud to be the first president in decades who did not get the United States into any new wars. I took us out of endless and ridiculous wars. Remember when I was running, they were all screaming, he'll start a war. He's that kind of a guy. No, I'm the one that got him not to fight because they didn't want to mess with us. Totally rebuilt the military. Nobody wanted to mess. Of course, we gave 85 billion of it to the Taliban. It's not even believable. We truly had peace through strength, as Ronald Reagan would say. We demanded that our NATO allies pay their fair share. And I made clear that if Europe cared about its borders, they would have to pay. They would have to pay because we were paying for NATO. And by the way, they screwed us on trade all the time, you know? They were almost as bad as China, but nobody says it because it's Europe. How nice. It's such a great place. A lot of us came from Europe at one point, whether it's us, our parents, our grandparents, but they were very good at taking advantage of the United States. Americans were not going to be played for suckers anymore under the Trump administration. It was very clear, and they understood that. A big part of the reason we are now witnessing this dangerous situation in Ukraine is that as soon as Biden came in, other countries got the message that it was back to the old days of taking advantage of the United States, that they didn't have to pay their bills, do their jobs, or risk their lives. Let the dumb Americans do it for us. The incompetence of our leaders can be scarcely believed. It's a disaster and a disgrace what's happened to our country in the last 10 months. A disaster, a disgrace. Nobody can believe it. Remember, there's a reason that Joe Biden can't walk into a sports stadium anywhere in America without being loudly mocked and ridiculed. Joe Biden, Chuck Schumer, crazy Nancy Pelosi, and she's crazy as a bedbug, that one. Nuts. He made a phone call to Ukraine to congratulate the man who just became president. We have to impeach him. Can you imagine? And Hunter Biden's taking $83,000 a month and gets $3 million sign-up fee. Even though he knew nothing about oil. You have to go to Texas, grab anybody in the audience, but it wasn't Hunter. No, but can you imagine crazy Nancy? Let's impeach the president of the United States for congratulating the president of Ukraine. And that call that was made yesterday with Biden, if that was even half what they said, that was not a good call. In fact, the president of Ukraine was saying to him supposedly, calm down, just calm down. I think we're okay, just calm down. Can you believe it? This is incredible. But their sinister faces of corruption, lawless political establishments like this should not be allowed to continue. They send young Americans to fight and die for the borders of distant foreign nations while they throw our borders open to illegal foreign invasion. We fight for other borders, but we don't fight for our own. They torture your children with masks in school while they host parties packed with unmasked donors in New York, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. They restrict your freedom and lock you in your home while they abolish cash bail and release thousands of really dangerous murderers, dangerous criminal murderers. They release them from jail. They drive up the price of your energy for your family while they are shuttled around in limos and airplanes on American taxpayer dollars. They censor, cancel, and persecute ordinary citizens for speaking the truth while they drown your endless torment of, what they do. They have an endless list of propaganda and propaganda methods that nobody would believe, including hoaxes and demented lies. We had all of the hoaxes. The American people are sick of this entire rotten and wretched political class. Think about it. Other countries, they have a country. We have a country. All they do is try and destroy you. Thank you very much. No, it's true. It's a perfect, that was much better than I was going to come up. Thank you. Whoever the hell you are, put your hand up. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for the hand. Usually that's left for Joe Biden. I'm a little embarrassed. I just liked it much better than what I was going to say. They're fed up with politicians who rig and steal our elections and our wealth, squander our strength, and spill our blood all over the world. And in many cases, for absolutely no reason, by countries and for countries that don't even want us there and don't even like us and certainly don't respect us. In 2022, we are going to start by ending Nancy Pelosi's political career once and for all. And then we're going to kick the Biden crime family out of the White House in 2024. A really great new book by Peter Schweitzer, which is a terrific book, actually, a sad book, very sad because of what it says and represents, just reported that the Biden family has collected over $31 million from entities linked to the Chinese Communist Party. $31 million. That's in addition to the $83,000 a month from the Ukrainian energy company, which a lot of people said was very corrupt. The millions from the mayor of Moscow's wife, millions, $3.5 million. What was that for? I really don't know. Remember the laptop from hell when they found it? What did they say? The Russians did it. Oh, the Russians did it. Remember that? That turned out to be, like everything else, totally false. Can you imagine when he realized that his laptop from hell was missing and that they found it? But the fake news didn't even want, a great book on that was done. The fake news didn't even want to talk about it. And all the rest of the Biden's graft that was censored by the media and the big tech giants during the campaign. And the reason they did that is because they knew that it represented maybe 15 points and maybe more of downfall. In other words, even with all of their cheating, all of the horrible things they did during the election, even with that, they would lose the election. It represented a 15-point fall. So the media got together, and outside of the New York Post, which I give a lot of credit for, they refused to talk about it. The radical Democrats spent years investigating fake scandals, the Mueller hoax, impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, the Unselect Committee on January 6th. How about that committee? And the outrageous civil and criminal harassment in New York and Atlanta of a person known as Donald Trump. Have you ever heard of him? Biden has the real scandals, and rest assured, when Republicans retake Congress, the Biden corruption will be investigated and exposed by Congress. But we no longer have a free and fair press. If we did, all of this would end. It wouldn't be there. It's actually just the opposite. As an example, One American News. Do we like it? It's a very popular carrier of our voice, your voice, my voice, everybody's voices. And unexpectedly, last week, they announced that they're going to be shutting down, this is AT&T, shutting down One American News. So what's happening is DirecTV, which is owned by Time Warner, is just, I mean, think of it, CNN. How bad, by the way, tell me, how bad and how fake is CNN? So One American News, which is wonderful, they're going to shut it down. And if they shut down OAN, you should boycott AT&T and DirecTV. You should. If they shut it down, people love it. People love it. And it's got a big audience. It's purely political. And if you look at the chairman of the board and if you look at the other people, you'll understand what's going on. And while you're at it, boycott Comcast and Xfinity while you're at it. I call it C-O-N, Concast, because it's a con job. Because they're no good. They're just no good. And they're so bad for our country. The millions of dollars the Bidens took from China also explains why Joe has refused to hold the Communist Party accountable for unleashing the virus on us and the rest of the world. Biden's letting China be rewarded even while he's punishing our own citizens with brutal mandates and attacks on our freedoms. And by the way, we have a couple of people here that are very brave. The Herrings. Mr. Herring, I heard he was here. I just heard that. Robert Herring, Charles Herring, where are you? Charles Herring. They are the ones, and they're American patriots. They own, where are you? I want to thank you on behalf of, I'd say, 97% of the people here. They own OAN, One American News, and they have done such a job at great personal expense. I want to thank you, Charles and Robert. Thank you very much. Great personal expense. And you've done a fantastic job. And let's see what happens. Remember, DirecTV, boycott it if they terminate this incredible group of people. Because they really get the word out and they get the truth out. And you can't be terminating. They have enough problems with this country without terminating the truth. It's time for the American people to declare independence from every last COVID mandate. We have to tell this band of hypocrites, tyrants, and racists that we're done with having them control our lives, mess with our children, and close our businesses. We're moving on from COVID. Whether they like it or not, we're moving on. We did a great job. Operation Warp Speed has been praised by everybody, but it's now time to move on. Remember, there are far more of us than there are of them. That's true. The Canadian truckers, you've been reading about it, who are resisting bravely these lawless mandates, are doing more to defend American freedom than our own leaders by far. And we want those great Canadian truckers to know that we are with them all the way. They are. They've really shown something. It's time to move on. Time to move on. Next year, a Republican Congress should pass a bill rehiring every single member of the military who was cruelly and wrongfully terminated by Joe Biden and his ridiculous COVID mandate, and force the Pentagon to give these patriots an apology and full back pay. We're thrilled to be joined tonight by many great Republican leaders, and I want to introduce some of them. The place is loaded. We are loaded. 85,000 people. They want to be here. They're politicians, right? And who can blame them? But they're great people. And a man that I endorsed a long time ago, very early, he got me to spend so much money on Texas. He wants to build a dam so we don't have any more floods during the storms. I said, how much would that cost? Approximately $10 billion. Oh, that sounds reasonable, Governor. But he's a great governor. He loves the state. Has my complete and total endorsement. Greg Abbott, Governor Greg Abbott. Where's Greg? A man. Where's Greg? Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Looking good, Governor. A man who has been with me from the beginning. This guy is great, and he's a wonderful person, and his son has done a fantastic job as U.S. Attorney. Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor. Where's Dan? Dan Patrick. Thank you, Dan. We got a lot of great people here tonight. Thanks, Dan. He calls me, sir, I think this one is great. Could you give them an endorsement? I said, absolutely, Dan. Whatever you want, Dan. He's gotten a hell of a lot of endorsements, but you've done a great job, and they've been great people you recommend, I will say. An attorney general who has really led the way, somebody who has been brave and strong. Ken Paxton. Ken, brave and strong and popular. Thank you very much, Ken. They all have my complete and total endorsement, and so do many of the others. Monday is the last day to register to vote in the primary on March 1st. So you got to get out there, Texas, and vote. You're going to have some great people going against some Democrats, and they're going to win. A man who was a fantastic Secretary of Energy and an incredible governor, Mr. and Governor and Secretary Rick Perry. Where's Rick? Rick? Thank you, Rick. Thank you, man. Thank you, Rick. Now, we have a lot of congressmen, warriors with us. So congressmen and representatives, just great people. We'll start. Brian Babin. Where's Brian? Brian. Thank you, Brian. John Carter. Thank you, John. Thank you. Michael Cloud. He just went up. We gave an endorsement. He went like a rocket ship right up. Pat Fallon. Pat, thank you very much. A wonderful guy, served a long time, has done a great job. Kevin Brady. Thank you, Kevin. I mean, this one is very special because he was my doctor. He knows everything about it. I don't know if he was a better doctor, admiral, or congressman. I don't know. It could be congressman, actually. They love you. They love Ronnie Jackson, right? You know, they were getting a little nasty. They didn't like that we were doing so well. So they said, maybe this guy's not with it. And I said, Ronnie, can I take some kind of a test? Is there something like, you can, sir, but it's very hard. I said, what's hard? Well, the first questions are easy, but then it gets harder and harder. When you get to question number 30, it's pretty hard, sir. I said, well, would anyone know if I did badly, right? He said, well, you know, it is Walter Reed. A lot of people see what's happening. I better do well. He said, what do you think? I said, I don't know. I did pretty well in my life. Let's take it. And I took this cognitive test. And as Ronnie said, I got every single question right. He said I aced it. And you know, from that point on, they didn't talk. They found other things. Then they said, he wants to be a dictator. He wants to be. They went on to other things. But I think Biden should do the same thing, Ronnie. Would you administer the test, please? It would solve so many problems. I have a feeling he won't be doing it anytime soon. Do you agree? But seriously, Ronnie Jackson has done a great job no matter where he's been. They love him in Texas, and I am very proud of him. And he said about me, this is one of the healthiest human beings I've ever seen. He actually said, if he didn't eat junk food, he'd live to 200 years old, right? And he was kidding a little, but he got himself into trouble with that one. We love Ronnie. Thank you very much, Ronnie. Another man, very brave, got shot, and he handled it incredibly well during that very horrible period that everybody knows about it. Roger Williams. Roger? Where are you, Roger? Thank you, Roger. Good job, Roger. Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller. Sid. You know, I watched it on television, the first race and the second. They said, sir, you know, it's a very close race. They're telling him. some interviewer, radical left probably, said, he said, Texas is going to be very close. He said, I don't know where you come from, son, but Texas is not going to be very close. Trump is going to win it in his landslide, and that's what happened twice. So we appreciate it. Thank you, Sid. He said, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, son. You don't know too much. We have some great people from out of state. Missouri, Attorney General Eric Schmidt. Eric. Thank you, Eric. Great job, Eric. Great. Arkansas Attorney General, wonderful woman, wonderful friend, Leslie Rutledge. Leslie? Thank you, Leslie. Great job. We should have an Attorney General like you guys in a place called New York. We should. By the way, I think I saw Louis Gohmert in the audience. Where the hell is Louis? Louis Gohmert. I got all these people. I don't even know they're coming. Louis Gohmert, what a wonderful guy. Congressman Louis Gohmert. This is a man who's been a friend of mine from day one. Thank you, Louis, for being here. I just saw you sitting there. He's very distinctive with that beautiful face. Right? Thank you, Louis. Then I see another one. He sells, now you're selling everything. He's no longer the pillow man. He sells everything. Mike Lindell. I think he's the greatest. I think he's the single greatest purchaser of advertising I've ever seen. I said, Mike, I don't care how many pillows you sell, and now you're selling slippers and sheets, you're selling everything. I said, I don't care. You can't afford that much advertising. I think you know what he does? He waits till the show is just ready to go on. Any empty slot, he says, I'll give you $200 for it to Fox. I'll give you 200, and they'll say, no, we want 3. He said, nope, I'll go 201. You're the greatest buyer of ads I've ever seen. And a lot of other good things, too, by the way. So, Mike Lindell, everybody, very good guy. Whoa. That's pretty good. Another man who's done a fantastic job, Indiana Attorney General, Todd Rokita. Todd, thank you very much. Todd Rokita. Thank you. Good job, Todd. Thank you. South Dakota Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg. Jason, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. They like you in Texas. They like all of you in Texas. State Senator Dawn Buckingham. Good luck. Good luck. You're going to have a good, solid victory. State Representative Steve Toth. Steve? He's a big guy for stopping the election fraud. Judge Mark Keogh. Judge. Thank you, Mark. A lot of power, that guy. A lot of power. Gonzales Mayor Connie Kassir. Connie Kassir. Thank you. Thanks, Connie. Good luck in your race. And Texas GOP chair, he's done a fantastic job, Matt Rinaldi. Thank you, Matt. Thanks. Thank you, Matt. Great job you've done. And a very special thanks to a longest-serving GOP chair, longest-serving in history, I guess, 92-year-old. I watched him. I talked to him backstage. He's still a dynamo, Dr. Wally Wilkerson. Wally, thank you. Thanks, Wally. He's still a dynamo. We're also joined by one of the greatest pitchers, easily one of the greatest pitchers in baseball history, Roger Clemens, with his incredible wife, Debbie. Roger, where's Roger? Look at him. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for everything. We're big fans. That guy was, boy, was he good, man. Nobody messed with him. He used to throw at the head once every about 12 pitches. They went up. People were, these big, powerful hitters, they were shaking with Roger. Something else. And he won like 360 games or some ridiculous number of games. And third all-time in strikeouts, as I remember, right, Roger? What a great athlete. And your sons are all great. Your family are just great athletes. And one son, I understand, made the roster of the Detroit Tigers, right? That's great. They'll have to change the name of the Detroit Tigers because they don't want to, it's unfair to use the word tiger. You know, they're changing the name of the Cleveland Indians. Can you believe that one? Can you believe that? They're changing the name of the Cleveland Indians. So I guess Tiger is probably at play also. Everything's at play. If you let these people get away with it, they'll destroy your whole country, okay? It's crazy. I also want to say a brief word about the atrocities this week in the Houston area where 3 brave police officers were brutally shot in the line of duty on Thursday. A Harris County officer was murdered by an illegal alien in a traffic stop on Sunday. Illegal alien, where did he come from? And another officer was also horribly killed, and I just want to pay my respects. The Houston police and law enforcement has treated us with such incredible dignity and respect, and they're incredible people, and I want to thank them, and if they want to stand up, but the Houston police have been incredible. Everybody in Texas is incredible, but our heart breaks for those courageous officers that we've just lost. We send our prayers. We send our everlasting love to their families. We ask God to help our wounded heroes make a swift and full recovery. Together we will always back our great men and women in blue, won't we, huh? Always. Over the past 12 months, we have seen the starkest contrast between 2 successive presidents in the history of our country. Let's simply compare the records.